Call me M or Maria, and I'm so glad that you're here today, interested in watching the webinar that I've put together through 6.5 years of researching the issue of addictions and mental health issues. So with addiction comes bankruptcy, financial ruin, divorce, death, suicide, criminality. There's a lot of issues that I'll be walking you through step by step, just so you can get a picture of exactly where we're at right now in this addiction and mental health pandemic that we're all in. And then after I show you that, then I go through and talk about our 8-week breakthrough incubator program that will really help you to, in just a matter of 8 weeks, go through exactly the transformation that I had. Now, I'm an international bestseller. My book, Kill Your Addiction Before It Kills You, has been world renowned and has had 20,000 downloads in the day that it was released. Also, they made a TV show from that book of my life, and it was shown, and it was the top Twitter handle for the day that it was released. Also, it was in 25 years of Filipino drama, it was the second highest rating in primetime TV. And in the last 10 years, I've worked with close to 1,600 clients and transformed their life of addiction to illicit substances or alcohol or porn or sex or medication. So I've been doing this work, and my doctorate is in the subject of addiction recovery coaching. So what I've done is I've put together a 1-hour webinar and training so you can really see for yourself exactly the landscape of addiction and mental health issues, workplace bullying, all the bits that you need to know about to see how far-reaching into our lives the effects of addiction and mental health issues. So I'm going to be showing a video quickly, a little cartoon, a little bit about the program. So stay tuned. I'm showing that next. And then really what I want to do is invite you, click the link below, register for the webinar, watch the training, and then book a call with me or one of my team members so that we can see how it is that we can change your life in just 8 weeks. See you on the other side. So how exactly does one go about overcoming addiction? The most common mistake that we tend to make when trying to quit whatever it is that we're addicted to is that we try to quit cold turkey. We say, all right, I'm going to quit smoking, alcohol, pornography, gambling. Whatever it is, the large majority of people often find themselves relapsing, giving in, and starting back at square one. Why does it seem so impossible? Well, the answer lies in an experiment they did in the 70s. In this experiment, they put rats in cages with 2 sources of water, normal water and water spiked with cocaine. They observed that the rats got hooked on the cocaine water until they died and overdosed and died. So instead of putting rats into cages, they did another study where they put them in different environment called the rat park, and there were plenty of things the rats loved that they can do there, and they had other rats there too. So in that park, they have the same water setup, normal water and water spiked with cocaine, and not one rat died from cocaine. And for the most part, they ignored the cocaine spiked water. So they even went as far to get the rats addicted to cocaine and then moved them over to Rat Park. And what they found was the rats that were addicted to cocaine overcame their addiction, and they didn't go back to the cocaine water while at Rat Park. So what does this mean? It means that we get addicted if we're not in a happy environment. So we have no friends, we stay home all day, no goals, we don't exercise, we don't meditate, then it's going to be near impossible to get over any type of addiction to alcohol or cocaine or meth or crack or gambling, because you're in your own rat cage. So unless you find a human version of a rat park, then you're just going to keep relapsing over and over again. So where do you start? You have to improve 3 areas of your life. These 3 areas will provide you with enough happiness to move you out of that rat cage into a human version of a rat park. So the number 1 thing is deep human bonding. We need this. 48% of Americans have only one person they can speak to about important matters. So when you think about it, I'm sure you may have friends, but is it really deep? Do you talk about deep and meaningful things? Do you really bond in that way? Do you improve yourself? Do you talk about goals? Or did you just discuss last night's Game of Thrones or whatever it is, the TV show that you're watching? So, how do you make real friends? Well, we teach you that in the 8-week program. So you need to learn how to hold deeper conversations, and that's exactly what we do in week 2. The other thing is focus less on social media and more on real life connections. And that's what we do in the 8-week incubator program. And I will be telling you about that in the webinar that you're going to be watching. So the second one is meaningful work. You really need to find meaningful work. They did statistics show that 70% of US employees are unhappy with their work because you're only entering data, following orders, doing paperwork, and you're not getting emotional connection in your work. So you don't necessarily need to quit your job, but what you need is something meaningful and purposeful, whether it's volunteering. So I've started a charity, so either community service with a charity like mine, or writing, or art, or doing that book that you've always wanted to write. I've got 4 international bestsellers now. So what I'm saying is if your work has meaning behind it, then it becomes a consistent source of happiness. So the third area that we need you to work on is to sculpt yourself, or sculpting. Work on yourself, right? The reason sculpting is what it's called is it's gonna take time. It's gonna be uncomfortable. It's gonna hurt sometimes. You're gonna feel a bit of pain. For example, when I first started going to the gym, it's painful during the session, whether you have a personal trainer or you're doing it to yourself. But it becomes so pleasant afterwards because you're getting a natural dopamine hit. So, that makes sense, right? So sculpting means that you sculpt yourself and you improve yourself in these 3 areas. And that's exactly what we do when you register for this webinar. As I teach you more secrets and more ways, and I teach you exactly how to move into your own very human version of Rat Park. So you have less reliance on whatever addiction that you have, whether it's alcohol or coke or porn or sex or medication, because these improvements that I will get you and I to go through as a group, as a team, as a tribe, is what's going to help you overcome your addiction once and for all. And like I said, this training, it's taken me 6 years of doctoral or PhD research to give this to you.